Hey guys, and welcome to the Wrong Relationship Project presents Relationship Talk with Mara Moline and my partner in crime here. And in the background, we have AKA LOL since he wants me to introduce him. How y'all doing, everybody? Thank you for tuning in to another episode of Relationship Talk with Mara Moline. And how was you guys last 2 weeks or the weekend?
Pretty good.
Pretty good?
We had a good weekend.
Okay.
Tory one.
LOL.
Yeah. It was good.
I just want to say something in the background because LOL is like the ghost back there and he don't want nobody to see who he is. But he is like he's an actual person. He just only wants you to hear his voice. So I'm just letting y'all know that right now. But anyways, I know last week we talked about not getting married. So we talked about marriage, and I love that show. I had a great time, especially because Miss Nikki here and LOL was going in, and it was like quite interesting. Just want to say hi to Denise for tuning in. Thank you for tuning in.
Hi, Denise.
Hi, Denise. And everybody everybody else who's tuning in. But I want to say, please also remember to share. So I'm getting ready to share mine. So on the bottom of your live pic, you may see like a little man, or you may see the word share. So all you gotta do is press the button share, and then it's gonna automatically share to your page, and your friends can see what you're watching. Also, too, I just want to make note that you guys should either press like, hit the hearts or the thumbs up, or if we say something funny, because the more that you do that, the more the page gets pushed out. So I would appreciate all the love from you guys. Okay.
And don't forget to tell them that if the video cuts off in 18 minutes or 24 minutes, that the full video will drop later on in the night on YouTube. So make sure that they know to go over to your YouTube page, and then also be pushed over back to Facebook. So
thank you so much.
That's what we're here for. You.
That's what he want to put on his little inputs, But yeah, I will have the link to the YouTube page for you guys to watch the full video on the YouTube page. I'll have that link at the bottom of the page when the show is over, okay? But anyways, thank you again. And so today's topic is she got money, she should pay. Now, I did get a lot of a little hype behind this, talking about finances this month on Relationship Talk. This is the March Money Madness edition, and of course, because I like basketball, that's where I get the March Madness from. And if anybody into college basketball, you know where I'm coming from. But we're talking about money and relationships, and we know that relationships are already a touchy topic.
Exactly.
But money is like really a touchy topic. So today we want to talk about money and the role or the effect that it has in relationships, and the role that men and women play, basically about finances. Now, we know, like, traditionally, men did pay for everything, you know what I'm saying? But that was because, majority of men had jobs and some women didn't.
Most women back in the day.
Yeah, they didn't work. And so, you expected the man to pay. But now it's different. You have more women who are successful, have jobs and careers and buying houses and everything on their own. And so the culture is a little different. You know what I'm saying? So today we'll be talking about in the role of finances when it comes to dating, you being single and married as well, and what everybody thinks about that. So, Miss Nikki, what do you think about this topic?
I think this topic is real interesting. Me and Mara were talking earlier before we started to record, and I think it's based on the relationship, your finances, or whether you're if you're dating, like, it all depends. Like, we were watching a video and the guy was like, oh, if your girlfriend is living with you, but then we know most Christians, I would hope most Christians don't shack up, so that wouldn't be the That
was
wouldn't
the,
be our
He
problem.
was responding to this question that's been floating around on social media, and the question is basically, should you guys pay 50-50 on the rent if you guys are living together? And as she said, as believers, we don't live together before marriage. So this, we talk about, we gearing towards believers. So I hope y'all not shacking, because that's what the old saints call it, shacking. But go ahead.
So he was saying that, well, obviously he wasn't a Christian, but he was saying if him and his girlfriend is living together, he thinks that she shouldn't pay the rent. That ultimately, if they're living together and if they're on that, I guess, level of their relationship where they're living together, then it becomes their money together, so they will be paying rent. Not necessarily he goes to his girlfriend and be like, hey, where's your half of the rent this month? It's just like financially we are, I guess they're starting to be one, so financially they would dictate where the funds go to and different things like that. So I basically saw it as a marriage. But in a marriage, it all depends. Like I said, the money has become one. You guys do the money together. But then if in a relationship, say, for instance, you may have some marriages where the husband had the home first and the wife moved into the home, and the husband's like, okay, mortgage is taken care of. I would just need you, to pick up the utilities, or you have the cable. It's whatever works for the relationship. Just like we said before in the last one, every relationship is different. So however you guys allocate your funds, that's that. But do I think it should be like a hard written in stone, the woman should pay 50-50 for the rent? No, it all depends on the relationship.
Okay. LOL.
What's the question?
I can't remember. What do you think about the topic for today? She got money.
She should
She
pay.
should pay.
Marriage or dating? Anything?
Anything, just your opinion.
Yeah, you could pick dating or married.
It's 2017. That's all I'm saying. We grew up on this old time that men cover everything.
Okay.
But women got rights now. Like, they equal.
Yeah, they have women
that
rights.
was back in the days when they wasn't equal, and they would stay at home and stuff. But now they fought to work. No. I'm still old school. Let me stop playing. I'm still old school, so I'm on the the man first. Like, we take care of what we supposed to. That's how I was raised. Like, take care of everything. But if she could help out these days, she can help out. So I'm all for. She got money. If she want to help pay, she help pay. If not, that's up to the man.
Okay. Now, I just want to, because when I did post this, the
Question of the day.
not the question of the day, but just letting everybody know what the topic was.
Okay.
Yesterday, I did get some comments, and I'm going to let you know what they said. It was pretty interesting. So this comment is from Michelle Williams. Hey,
Hi,
Michelle. And she says, so this is to she got money, she should pay, right?
Okay.
She goes, nope. You asked me out, that means you're paying. I was fine at home watching Netflix and eating popcorn.
Which, do we agree with that? If you
agree.
if you ask
Agree.
somebody out on a date, you should pay because you're inviting them out. It's not like me
So
telling
if I'm
Myra,
a woman and I ask a guy on a date, I have to pay?
yeah,
Yeah,
you're
you
the
agree with that?
You're the host. Isn't it like it's the hostess? Like, if you invite somebody to a party, hey, come over to my house. I'm having a party. I'm having a get together. When you're having a get together, people expect you to feed them
I
or
think
have
you
some
should
type
go
of.
with the intentions to pay. Mm-hmm. Like, if she asks, I think you should go with the intentions to pay. But
The
I'm
guy.
hoping, no, the girl. Like, if the
Okay.
girl asks the guy, I'm hoping that she's the one. Like, she wants to treat him out. But then I hope during the date he stops her and say, "Hey, no, put your money aside. I got this."
That's how you sound.
You
And then-
wanted to say it just like that?
Just like that, like,
Like-
no. His voice don't need. My voice is not deep.
Okay,
so,
okay.
I'm trying here to make sure my voice sounds deep. But
Okay.
all men voice not deep, obviously. But yeah, just stop. No,
Right.
I got this. Like,
Straight
you
up.
know,
Okay.
just let her know. Like, you could have paid, but I'm taking it anyways. But
Because you're a gentleman. Is that what it is?
that's
Okay.
exactly what
Now-
it is.
Now, she also responded and said, don't get me wrong. I don't expect a man to pay all the time, but it's about timing.
It is, because I would say if you're first in that starting dating, like 2 to 3 months, whatever, and he's asking you out on a date, like you said, like, he's gonna pay. But if y'all in this for the long haul, y'all been dating for a year, come on, women. Like, it's sometimes where you should step up and be like, hey, I got this. I want to treat you out. Because especially if he's been treating you for the longest, I mean, you got to sort of kind of you know,
surprise him.
It's surprising to be like, feel grateful, because if not, then you just look like a spoiled brat. Like, you expect somebody to do this for you, which technically they don't have to. Nobody has to pay for anything. He could be like, yo, I'm going Dutch. All I ate was a salad. You had a burger, fries, and a milkshake. You pay for your tab. But, you know.
Well, like,
I mean,
go ahead.
we do know situations where the guy doesn't work or he doesn't do anything, and the girl is the one that's actually taking care of him. So I don't know. I see it both ways. Like, I always see the breadwinner as the one who always takes the grunt or the most of the payments, and then whenever you're able to throw in, you throw in. But
Right. Okay. Now, I was telling Nikki before the show started that I do know some women who do not pay at all, like never, and the guy is okay with that. Like, he pays for everything, and she still makes her own money.
Are they married or are they dating?
Dating, about to get married. You know, some of them are dating, but some of them are married too. I know some women that are like that too. You know what I'm saying? So,
I mean, financially, if they can do it and that works for their marriage, I
Then
mean,
that's
go
fine.
ahead. That's
That works
fine.
for
That's
your
why I said it all
relationship.
depends on the marriage. But then eventually, then also, keynote to brothers, if you always paying while y'all dating and then you get married, she's going to expect you to do that the entire time, unless, you know, unforeseen circumstances happen where you lose your job or anything. But if you start her like that, where at no point in time in the 2-3 years or 2 years that y'all was dating, you never paid, she's not gonna expect to
so
pay
that's what
for
I guess that would be
anything.
my next thought is if she always expects him to pay and never like surprise him and say, okay, babe, I'm paying for it this time.
I think the man should speak up. If
No,
that's
what
not
I'm
something he
saying is,
wants.
do you think as they go into marriage and then something was to happen, like he loses his job or for whatever reason he's not making the same amount of money that he is making, do you think she would be that helpmate, as Baba call it,
I
and
would
support
hope
him?
so.
Do you think she would do
I
that?
would hope
because she
these
hasn't paid for
ladies-
anything thus far.
I would hope these ladies have the characteristic of, you know, he's not working anymore. He can't do what he used to do, and I'm going to hold the fort down until he's able to.
What you think, LOL?
I mean, I don't know. Elder Davis says the way you start is the way you end. So I feel like if you started paying for everything, I don't think, like, yeah, you want to help, just like Elder Davis also said, you know, it's good, like, you should treat your companion like you want to, but I tell you this, if you go to court, like if y'all ever divorced and the man was taking care of everything,
He gonna
the
have
judge
to.
looks at that and say, look, you created this lifestyle. Like, if you took care of everything and now y'all separated, you still have to provide this lifestyle.
But what I'm saying is, do you think she would be supportive if he was to be down on his quote unquote luck?
Like, so before he was paying for everything, and then he
Now
lost
he
his
can't
job
really
or took
can't.
a pay cut.
Yeah, what do you think?
Do you think she should step up?
No, do you think she would step up?
It depends on a girl. It
Oh,
depends
okay.
on a person. You can't really say that's across the board. Automatically, everyone's going to change. It depends on your circumstances. If she wants to live in the house that they live in, the apartment that they live in, and have the luxurious life that they have, then yeah, she's going to have to step up. If not, I guarantee she'll find another guy that could handle
Do
her
it
needs.
for her.
Yep.
Okay. Now, another response,
And vice versa. The guys do the same thing too. So
that is true, because
Yeah.
we do. I want to talk about that a little later, but we have another response. Now, this is from Bernard Belzy. Hey, Bernard.
Hey, Bernard.
And he says, now, you know, some guys are kind of watchful and stingy now. Some women will not be interested in them at all, but will go out with them for a free meal.
Which is true. Bernard ain't lying.
Exactly.
I know some women that do that. Like, they prey on nice guys. Like, I have seen it where a guy is just nice and he's interested in a girl, and the girl has no intentions whatsoever of dating this guy, but she entertains the fact because why? He's taking her out to all these luxurious restaurants.
And
He's
she's not
razzle-dazzling her. And
Let
she
me
just-
finish his thought, and then we'll go on. It says, so who's to say that the guy is playing it safe by allowing women to pay? Or what if it's a guy who's been on dates after dates and just feels that he's being used? So you can continue what you were saying.
I feel like it depends. At some point, you know.
Right.
You have to know from if the person just keeps you in the friend zone, then if we friends, like, yo, you
You should know that you just a
should
free
know
meal.
that Exactly. So you should know where to cut it off. I mean, everybody uses their own better judgment. But if Bernard, if you're trying to pursue somebody and you invite her out on a date, obviously you have to go, like LOL said, with the intentions of, hey, I'm going to pay for the meal. But after 6 meals, you see she still got you in the friend zone and she doesn't have no intentions, or you guys have that conversation, which communication is important. You have that conversation with her and you see she says, okay, I'm not interested in a relationship right now, or I'm talking to somebody else. At that point, first of all, stop asking her out on dates, because she's already told you and she made it very evident that she didn't want a relationship with you. And then 2, you just make that judgment, okay, like not gonna spend my money. Like, at some point you get that feeling. If there's no connection, then there's no reason why we done went on 22 dates and I done paid 22 bills,
right?
And I don't see a future in this. So I don't see no
okay.
type of friendship or anything. You have to make your better judgment.
LOL.
What was the question?
Yeah.
Bernard said, do I have to repeat what
Oh,
Bernard
no, please
said?
repeat it. Repeat it.
Bernard said, now, some guys are kind of watchful and stingy. Some women will not be interested in them at all, but will go out with them for a free meal. So who's to say that the guy is playing it safe by allowing the woman to pay? Or what if it's a guy who's been on date after date and just feels like he's being used? Are you thinking?
I'm thinking. I'm thinking.
He's thinking.
No, I'm not understanding the question. As in,
It's not. Well, he
Yeah.
made a
His
statement.
but
He made a statement. Then he was like, he threw in some questions. So the question, his statement is, some guys are stingy. Like they are aware of their money situation. Maybe they're on a tight budget, but there are scenarios where a girl is not interested and all she's using him as is a free meal.
Of course.
So
is he wrong for being stingy?
Is he playing it safe by letting her pay? And then also,
I think he don't need to. Those type of guys don't need to be going out. Like.
Yeah, if you
Like, you
can't
ain't playing
afford
no
the
game
date,
to see if she's willing to pay. Like, what type of game? Like, I don't understand that. Like, that's not for me. If a guy does it, a guy does it. That's them. I don't condone that. I don't say, oh, let's see. Like, yeah, I think some guys do test the waters. Like, we'll see if she'll grab the bill, knowing full well that we're gonna pay it. But just to see if she's all for it. But if you've been going out over and over and you realize that she is not willing to pay, then if you think she's taking your money, just stop.
Right.
It's so simple just not to take her out. And if you keep finding girls over and over, I think the pool that you're looking into is horrible.
I was gonna say that.
Right.
Like, at that point, if you're on a strict budget, you wouldn't want to pursue a girl that that expect nothing less than Ruth Chris.
Right.
No, seriously, because
Right.
if she expects you to take her to these high price restaurants where for a meal for 2 people can run you $200, but you're on a strict budget and your budget may not only allow you to afford $50, why are you pursuing a woman like that you can't afford?
Right. I totally agree.
Stick to what you can afford.
Stay in your lane.
Yes,
basically.
you
Stay
got
in your
Chanel
lane.
dreams when right now you just living in Coach. Stay in the Coach factory,
Oh
You'll
my
get the
God.
Chanel one day, but just stay.
This girl's so funny. Okay, now, Abriella Wilson. Hi, Abriella. How you doing? Shout out.
Aubrey.
She also has a great page. What is it?
Singleness in Style.
I like that page. It's really good. But she says, if a guy is truly interested, he will invest. I want to hear what you got to say, LOL.
But invest like how? Just as though if a woman's interested and we're interested in building a future, I'm gonna invest as well. An investment, if you're getting something back, you have to invest in your future. You have to invest. I mean, if we dating for 2 years and the entire 2 years only he's paying, something ain't right.
What do you think? I'm still trying to hear this. What do you think? If a guy is interested, he should invest.
Yeah, I'll read her thing. She hit it. No, I mean,
but for 2 years, for the entire 2 years, like I'm not even. I don't think it's a time frame. Like it all depends on time and it all depends on the relationship. And if we're having that conversation where, okay, I see you can be my future. Like we talking, we making plans for the future. At that point, Also, if he's investing all his money in me and we see that that's our future, then I'm gonna make the conscious decision. Look, yes, we going out on dates, but if we're gonna be a future, we got goals together. That's look, we need to start going to Chili's instead of going to Ruth Chris, because you know we have to.
I don't know, but let me hear what you got to say over there. Come on, say what you got to say.
If I feel like if she's worth it,
then you go and invest.
Then you invest.
You're gonna make sacrifices.
You're gonna invest in how long you want to chase it.
As long as
like,
you want, okay.
As long as you want to chase it, you're gonna invest into it. So there's no time frame on how long you want. You know what I'm saying? Like, if it takes 2 years, if it takes 3 years, if you want to invest in something, invest in it.
If that's what you want.
Because the return, like when you're married, they tell you if you treat your woman like a queen, she's gonna treat you like the king. If I invest in her and treat her like trash, then I can't expect her to treat me on a pedestal. So it's the same thing. So if
I get it.
Dishing some stuff into you, like, you know what I'm saying, I'm taking care of, then in return she should start taking care of you on other places. Like, it doesn't have to be on the monetary side of life.
I got it.
Take care
I like
of you on
it.
the other
Thank you
side.
for saying this. I want to say this. Now,
I
there
agree.
was a reply made by Bernard Belzy in response to what Abriella said.
Okay.
And he said, oh gosh, where is it? He said, I agree with you, but some women reject the investment because some guys are looking for immediate return at the end of the night. Let's talk about that.
Well, I feel like if that's the guy that's asking for immediate return, and if you're a woman in waiting and you've made that decision that that's not the road, well, I would hope all the Christians are like that, but regardless of if you're waiting and you know that's not what you want to do, then obviously that's somebody that you don't want investing in you, and you don't want to invest in them. Because if he's taking you out on a date and he's expecting by date number 5 you should be giving something up, obviously that's not a person that you want to invest your time in any longer. But I would hope by date number 2 or 3 you would already evaluated that from the conversations that y'all was having. But regardless, if it takes you date number 5 and he makes it very clear that he wants to take it to the next level, and you know that's something that you're not about, then at that point you don't want him investing in you no longer, versus you don't want to invest your time in that because you already know y'all already don't see eye to eye.
LOL.
What you have to say? I didn't hear.
I'm about to say something.
You need to say something before you jump over here. I would love to hear what you have to say.
Are you gonna do this?
Please speak.
All right, so this is what I was
she
gonna
need to invest in us right now.
I was gonna say something, but I needed to hear y'all opinion.
Okay.
But what I was saying was, as a Christian woman, because this is the audience, you know what I'm saying? As a believer, I believe that, you know, most men already show you their intentions.
Exactly.
Right? And before you even invest that time in that situation, you should already let him know what your intentions are.
Definitely.
You get what I'm saying? So before he even tried to take you out, and my response was, you shouldn't even be going out with you shouldn't be going out with a man like that. You need to be going out with a man who is like for real saved. Because there's some men that's in the church, but they ain't saved. Like, you know, truly thoroughly washed in the blood.
Yeah.
You know, for them who know.
I think Bernard
what
responded to her like that. Like, you need a man that's gonna respond back and say, take your God bless you, hallelujah, and take it and be happy with it.
Michelle said that all he's gonna get is the benediction and the God bless you.
Oh yeah, that's what
Michelle
it was.
said that, and I totally agree with that. And but no, you should always know somebody's intentions before you go out with them. You get what I'm saying? Because if he is the type of man who is expecting an immediate return, a lot of times they let you know those intentions even before you go out with them. You know?
That's just true.
Yeah, that's true. I agree to that. I mean, it goes the same way. Like, you know, if he's a guy who always deal with girls that put out on the first night, not put out, because I don't know if that was the conversation. He did not say that in the text, like putting out, or because the return could have been anything. Like
it could have been anything.
You know, I love you, or text me at night. Like the return could have been anything that, you know, we don't know the look of it. But what I'm saying is that, yeah, if he's always been dealing with girls that always been giving a return on the night, then that's what he expects. And if you don't give that to him, then that's not a guy who's gonna take you out, take your free meal, and just go home. Yeah.
This is true. I totally agree. Now, Gary Threat says, I think the guy should pay, but it's nice to be treated every once in a while. So that's what he said.
Do you agree, LOL?
If she has it.
If she has it, okay. Now, okay, so we went on that with paying. I think that for me, I feel like as I go back to the beginning of what I was saying, the whole thing when it comes to the traditional part of how this all got started, but also too, if we're gonna put this on biblical aspects, the Bible tells us that what the man is the what he's supposed to be
He's
the
the
what?
provider.
The provider. You know what I'm saying? And I think that too, the notion of the independent woman, like the video with, and I always love that video, but it was Jamie Foxx,
Okay.
Neo, and Fabulous. You
Okay.
know, She Got It All. The She Got It All video, I think it is.
She got her own?
She got her own. There you go. I'm
Oh,
sorry.
I was like,
I'm
nah,
all
I
wrong.
didn't see that one.
She got her own. So, you know, he's like, oh, I want an independent queen. You know, she got her own and everything like that. So there was one point where, you know, after Beyonce, Destiny's Child came out with Independent Woman, then they had the little ratchet song, INDPE, you know, that one. And then they came out. So it was like a whole string of independent women and pushing that out. And I'm not knocking being independent, but what I'm saying is, if you are a woman who is in pursuit of getting married or desires to be married, the thing is, we have to learn how to be submissive,
Humble and submissive.
right? And so I'm not saying you can't be your own woman. What I'm saying is sometimes the portrayal of independence can be prideful, and I've heard this from Christian women. Oh. I'm not gonna. I don't have to submit to him.
Yeah.
You know, I don't have to obey him. And submission is not about domination or him being a dictator. Because if he is a true man of God who actually read his word and study it, he'll know that it's not about that. And then you should know that submission is not about that as well. But for me, when it comes to the selection of the person that I date, yeah, you know, I would expect him to pay. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? Because as he said, Mr. Davis had pointed out, how you start is how you're going to begin. And if you always expect me to carry. Now, there was a book that I was reading. It's a book I'm reading now. She was saying how you cannot expect, like, for example, if he, you know, falls on hard time for whatever reason, you can't always have that model in your mind that he is going to carry the house. Because if he loses his job, what are you gonna do? Leave him for another man? Like, you get what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So I feel like we have to evaluate
the situation.
Yeah, we have to evaluate a situation in ourselves. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? What are we truly looking for? Right? All right. Now, I just want to make there was another response to the question of the day. So the question of the day is,
when should the man stop paying?
When should the man stop paying? So
never.
Somebody responded, and I just want to read his response, and then we'll move on from there. Hold on. Let me find his response. Okay, this is from Charles P.K. Nan, and he says, the man should never stop paying. However, we also love kind words, attention, and like to be spoiled too. Whether in a committed relationship or a marriage, it's okay for your wife or girlfriend to say, I have the bill tonight, honey. And the man shouldn't feel no type of way, but that comes after the man has proven to be a real man and taking care of his responsibilities. So let me see, taking care of his responsibilities. A man, money, and credit cards should always hit the table first, always. Now, if you just start dating, you need to build and show her. Don't just expect her to pay. You have to prove to be different, because all she's seeing is other men that hurt her and used her. Of course not. And it's the reality to be real. I don't understand what he said at the end, but that's what he said. And then Marty Glenn Davis said never. He should never stop paying. And then Jeremiah Davis agreed with them. So we have 3 men that say that the men should never stop paying.
Exactly.
What do you think?
I think the same. Like LOL said before, it all depends. The man should always be prepared to pay. But, ladies, it is nice to surprise him and be like, honey, you know, tonight I have the bill. Honey, today I want to treat you to something. Or just jump in the car and be like, you know, I want to take you somewhere. He doesn't need to know the restaurant or nothing. And then you pay and you cover the bill. It's nice to have that. Now, if you have a man that's like my husband, even if I attempt to pay, he will still take it, or he'll go to the waiter without me even knowing. I may have to step to the bathroom or something and cover the bill. But men do appreciate times where you cover the bill. Like he said, it all depends. They have they have in their mind that they're gonna pay, but they do like it when you spontaneously be like, you know, I got
When
this
you treat
one.
them.
Exactly.
Right. Hey, Auntie Noreen, and hey, Franklin Higgs. Thank you for tuning in. What do you think?
Repeat the question.
We always got to repeat the question with him. The question of the day is...
When should the man stop paying?
If you've been paying, he's paying. Like,
He's paying.
I don't think there is as long as y'all together, the man's gonna pay. Not everything, obviously. So pay when you can. Pay, you know, don't pay when you can't. Like, that's it. Like, there's never a time when he decides, okay, I'm done now. You take over. It's you guys are in it together. So
my question is, does that is that something that women should look out for when they are, you know, whether he take care of the bill, you know, stuff like that, whether he treats her, is that something that she should look for?
I mean, that's something that we was raised. I mean, I think women was raised to think that the man, you know, he's a. Okay, so Elder responded to I don't remember which one of you guys said it, was like that the Bible says that the man is supposed to be the provider. So Elder wants you to let her know, or I'm sorry, where in the Bible does it say that? So get on that when you get a chance to please respond to your listeners. But yeah, what was the question?
The question is,
When should the man?
joking.
I'm like,
No, I was joking with y'all, but no, I don't think that's something that they need to look out for. I think you want someone who's going to be able to take care of you. I think that's what women should look out for. Someone who is going to take care of you. And in the sense, think that, you know, if something should happen to him, I'm able to also take care of him. Like, you're not going into a relationship thinking that he is only going to take care of you and you should never take care of him. But I want someone who's going to take care of me as I would take care of them. Right. So it's do unto others as you would like others to do unto you. So
I wouldn't say that the Bible says, so I'm going to take that back. It doesn't say verbatim that the man should be the provider. It implies that he should cover his wife, cover his family. So that is an implication that he should be the provider, you know, of the family. He's the head. You know, he's the head of the household. The Bible does say that the man is the head. So I don't want to say that it says, okay, you know, there is the scripture in the Bible that says, because it doesn't say that. I have never read a scripture, but it does imply that he ought to be the head. He ought to be that example for his house, for his wife. He ought to be the protector and different things like that. Do we have any more
questions on that?
Yeah, or comments? Okay. So Frank says the man should stop paying when he is no longer alive. In other words, never.
Never stop paying.
Which I love. You know what? I appreciate all of the comments from the men. You know,
yeah.
I really thought a lot of women would have said some things, but I know that when it comes to finances, because I remember there was a friend of mine who was dating this girl for a while, and she really wanted to marry him, but he felt that his financial situation was not where it needed to be for them to get married. And anyways, they eventually broke up because of that situation, because men really solely do concentrate on that financial situation. It's like, for y'all, if y'all finances not right,
yeah,
it's like nothing else in life. She could be like the greatest person in the world, but y'all just do not want to move forward. You know, she could be like, babe, you know, don't worry about it. We can get a starter ring. And some of y'all be like, nah, we ain't
We
doing
don't
it.
feel like men if we can't provide for the family.
But what I'm saying is, and I want to talk about that, you know,
Okay.
since we're saying, you know, if she got it, she should pay. My thing is, if she loves you, if she's a loyal, you see all of the
And I think
qualities.
she's aware of
if
your
she's
financial
aware of your
situation.
financial situation, why not marry her? That's the question I'm asking
Oh,
you.
wow.
Ella.
That was
You're
a question?
Yeah.
The way you presented it was not a question.
That is a question, LOL, since you're the
So
only
what's the
dude.
question?
only
Like,
man.
say it in a question form for me.
Why wouldn't a man commit to being married if the woman is aware of your financial situation? Your reason for getting married is you're not financially in the position where you want to take care of her. And she's aware of that, and she still says, you can get me a starter ring, it's not that important, I just want you, I want to
Yeah, I
marry
just
you.
want to be with you. What's up?
No, I think you're surrounded by your upbringing. It's like we were taught to be the provider. Like we were taught to make sure that we're able to take care of the home. And if we're not financially set to doing that, our minds does not comprehend, okay, you can do it for me. Like, you
So
understand?
even as a Christian man, though,
Even as a Christian,
let's
like,
just
that's
say
even
God is
worse.
like, this is yours. I want you to go forward.
And I think that's where flesh plays a part.
Okay.
Because if we know that God is first and then comes us, you understand? So if he's our provider and then under him is the man and then under that is our wife, our helpmate, that means if I can't provide this, there's a skip, you understand? So now it goes, push me out the way. So that's, and not all men think this way. I'm not going to speak. I'm speaking on the situation that we're talking about right now.
I
So
get it. I get
the situation. So not all men think this way. But what I'm saying to those that do is it's just like, you understand, I'm the one who's supposed to provide for her. I get everything from him and I pass it down to my family. That's how it works. If I can't pass anything down to my family and it's her that's supposed to be carrying me, it doesn't look right. Because we can say what? The man's the stronger vessel. The woman's the weaker vessel. If the things flip, how do I look to the outside?
Right.
That now I'm being carried by her. Now some men don't
But
care
how
about
is
that.
the outside aware of your financial situation?
Oh, people can see it. Everybody talks. I don't understand that. Like, it's clear as day. Like,
How is it clear
You
as
can
day?
tell when a man is not really
not
the
carrying
provider.
out-
Yeah, you know what I'm saying? Like,
My thing is, okay, this is what I want to say, right? Because I want to bring it in a Christian light, right? Because we're supposed to be different from the world.
Exactly.
And also because I was reading in the book where this lady, she was saying how her husband, you know, they had rededicated their life to the Lord, and his job was like, he was like a music producer or something like that. And then he decided, you know, his contract was up and he was making like 6 figures, but he really, because he had gave his life back to the Lord,
He didn't want to
he didn't want to do, and he was really seeking God. And so their income had dropped significantly, and she was basically covering financially as he was, of course, transitioning. So I had a conversation with my friend, and she was like, what? Seeking God. She was like, he need to seek God for a job. My thing is, you know, because like he said, like LOL was saying, too many times we focus on what other people might think. And it really is, okay, what is God doing in your relationship or in your situation?
True.
You know, now that's marriage, right? That's just in the marriage part. But what I want to know is, because I hear this a lot of time, if a single woman like me meets a guy who has potential, because they tell you do not date a guy with
You
potential.
heard what Chrissy say. Potential. I see potential of her being poor. Don't look at potential.
So my thing is, right now, if we are really focused on the spiritual part of this man, no, he, you know, maybe he is like seeking God, and God has maybe called him into ministry, and right now he's not making the amount of money, but you two know that God has put you guys together. Now, because we hear so many things in society that's saying, oh no, girl, don't get with him if he can't take care of you, if he can't pay the bills. Well, he can pay the necessity, but right now that he's maybe a missionary or, like I said, a pastor or whatever, or something, he's doing something that's not paying him all this money. But you said, and he said, that you guys were called to be together. Because last time we talked about how marriage was ordained by God. You know what I'm saying? So my question is, would you advise her to go forward with this? Since we talking about she got money, she should pay. You know, would you advise her to move forward in this relationship?
So are they still dating?
They're still dating in process of getting married. Would you advise her to continue to date this man or even marry him because he's in this financial situation?
Don't stay silent, everyone.
Yeah, I'm waiting.
I mean, again, I think everything depends on the situation and it depends on the person. If you two are joined together and in the process of getting married, so let's just say they're engaged and he's seeking God and God tells him, okay, I want you to be a missionary. Obviously, at some point, I'm going to assume he consulted his fiance and say, look, I've been praying really heavily on it. And before they make the decision, if you're about to be my wife or he's about to be my husband, he probably consulted her and be like, look, let's pray on it to make sure, because this is about to be a family, to make sure this is the move that God is really telling our family to do. Then at that point, if they both agree on the situation, hey, if it works for you guys don't have that many bills, you guys are able to do it because you are about to become one, then go for it. If it works for your family, it works for your family. Can't nobody else tell you what works for your family but you. That's how I feel about it.
This is what LL say, because I got to hear this. You know, I got to hear the men, what the men folk got to say.
You know what? It really is about her surroundings. I think because I was part of a church that used to tell the women, like, if they were with a guy, you know, that wasn't really Christian like, or you know, he wasn't really up to par, they would tell them, nah, that's not your level. Like, find somebody on your level or somebody better. Like, you know, it's always going to be around your surroundings. Who's influencing you? So if someone's influencing love, it doesn't matter what the outside looks like. It matters what you're connected to. Then no matter the situation, you're going to be connected to that person. But if they're telling you it's more about looks, it's more about what they have, then of course you're not going to find yourself in that type of situation, because you really need someone who makes $60K or better, or, you know, things like that. So it's always going to be the surrounding. Who's their influence? Who's teaching them what true love or what marriage or what next level looks like for them, who they're supposed to be joined to? Because a lot of people don't feel like, no, you can't be with a broke, like, you understand, like, Beyonce, what they told her, because I know y'all was talking about Destiny Child, from independent to I need a soldier to, you know what I'm saying, like,
yeah, and can you pay my bills,
and then, or like TLC, I don't want no scrub, like,
yeah, definitely.
You know, it depends on what's influencing you at that time, because a scrub looks like someone who sits in a best friend's ride, but I can be getting a ride to work carpooling, like,
that's true.
Yeah.
But the moment you saw me in the car, you just automatically assume I didn't have my own. Mm-hmm. So those type of girls wouldn't approach me, or I wouldn't be able to approach the type of girls that I really want, who's looking for a man that has his own car, that has his own apartment or house or things like that. But, you know, it's who you bring that person back home to. When you bring them to your friends, what are your friends going to say? Are you worried about what the church says, what your family says, what your friend says? Because that's
you know what? I think that's a lot of the struggles with with a lot of people. But what I do want to send out and convey with this particular show, guys, is that, you know, because I was having a conversation with a young lady earlier, and we were talking about relationships, and they had asked me on our way to Sunday dinner last week, what are some questions that you need to ask when you're dating somebody? And I said,
what's your credit score?
Huh?
What's your credit score?
No. No, I didn't say that. I said your question should be based on what you want. And a lot of people don't know what they want. They have a shallow picture of what they want. Maybe it's, you know, this tall, dark, and handsome man, or maybe tall, light skin, you know, or maybe short and stubby with a bald head. But, you know, all the detailed things, you really don't know what you want, because number one, you don't know yourself enough to know what you want, and then also to discover what God wants for you. And that's a really heavy thing, you know, because a lot of times we would want that, right? Because we like that. That's everything that we want, honey.
Well, everything you think you want.
And then God has something totally different for you. That is, this is the person that as a female, this is a person that he made you for.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And you're looking at the situation like, no, God, I'm not used to this. Like, this is not what I want. And so my message today is really seek God, with when it comes to the people that you decide to date or join yourself with. And also that marriage, I know like people speak and say different things about, honey, he got had his money paid bill. I'm not saying that this man shouldn't work, because he should. But what if you're dating somebody and God called him to be a missionary, in the Himalayas? You get what I'm saying?
That's true.
So, is that what he called you to do too? Because you said he was your husband, and we never know in the middle of that, like when you get married, and as Auntie Noreen said, remember, go back to your marriage vows, for better or for worse, for richer or for poorer. And so, you have to really pray about all of these situations. And it shouldn't, and I know that's kind of hard, because when we go back to the Bible scripture, I could imagine what Noah's wife was saying to Noah, like when he said, when he told his wife, his kids, look, God told me to build a boat, because it's gonna rain. But I didn't see, when I read that scripture about Noah, that his wife fought him. Now, Job had a different situation.
Exactly.
His wife told him to just go ahead and die. So you have
The Lord have mercy.
You have some people who have those supportive wives that say, okay, well, if God say it, then do it. And then you have some who have these wives that say, you know what, you going through a lot, just go ahead and just kill yourself. Which is, I mean, that's basically what she told Job, right? Am I right?
Pretty much.
Am I right? That's what she told him. And so I could imagine, the ridicule that maybe Noah's wife was going through, like, oh, your husband crazy. He around here building this boat. And they had never seen rain.
That's
all of the ridicule. She had to be a very strong woman. And I have to say that, going back to relationships and marriage, God ordained. And when we think about the word ordained, he ordered, that particular relationship. And when you think about your marriage, it is an assignment. You two, now he has joined you two together to do something.
Yeah.
And whatever the purpose of that relationship, guys, be prayerful, be mindful as you date. Don't just, and for the females, don't just go out with these guys to get free meals. That's just how some of y'all get stalkers.
Yeah.
And then y'all want to sit up here and be like, oh my God.
I don't know why
he did it. Well, you were stringing the brother along, you know. And then men, don't, just because she cute, her makeup is on fleek, she got the MAC makeup and everything like that, and she says yes, and you keep going out her for 10 dates, don't now get bitter at all the other women because you decided to chase this woman who really didn't want to be with you, and because you didn't take the time out to really pray and seek God for the people that you're spending your time and giving your heart to. And the Bible also says in Proverbs 4:23 that we have to guard our hearts. And when we're going out and talking to people and dating and stuff like that, you're giving a piece of yourself in these situations. So you have to be mindful. You know what I'm saying? What do you think, Nikki?
I totally agree. I was just going to say, it all goes back to, if you're dating or whether you're married or whatever, God should be the center of that relationship. So ultimately, if he loses his job, if he has a 6-figure job, if he doesn't have a 6-figure job, if that is the person that you said God told you to be with, you're going to seek God in reference to that relationship, or in reference to that man seeking you out. If that is who God says that you're supposed to be with, then if you're going to be obedient, you're going to be with that person. So it all boils down to you seeking God for that relationship. If he takes you out on 10 dates and you're seeking God and saying, God, is this the one? And God's like, nah, that ain't the one. And then he come to you and tell you he's going to go minister and be an evangelist and God knows where, you're going to be like, okay, no problem, keep going, because God already informed you that ain't the one.
Mm-hmm.
But if that is the one, then God probably told you too, hey, join him. I need you to be an evangelist. Mm-hmm. So it's just going to work itself out.
Yeah.
So it all goes down to God's supposed to be the center. If you're dating, God's gonna lead you to the one. If you're praying and you're asking God lead you to the one, he's supposed to be advising you in all things. You can't go wrong with that.
That's true. LOL.
What's the question?
No, just in with
What's the question?
Just say your final thought. You just being difficult right now.
His final thoughts is men never stop paying.
His final thoughts.
His final thoughts,
I thought it
yes.
was a question again.
No, not a question.
Final thoughts on She Got It, She Pays.
She got it, she pays, and
She got it, she should pay.
And when should the man stop
and when
paying?
should the man stop paying? All that together.
Look, I'm all for do it the way you was raised, or do it how you was taught to be raised. Like, you know, if you were taught that a man should take care of everything, there's a lot of guys willing to take care of everything. So find that guy for you. Find what your true, you know what I'm saying? Like, be true to yourself. Find what you were not so much just taught to do, what you believe to do. So, and then what was the second part? I know it was just she pays. She got it. She pays.
She got it. She pays.
But it was also
when should he ever stop?
Yeah.
And then I say, yeah, for the guy, I think, like I said, we were raised to be the provider. Never think that we should stop taking care of the one that we love. Never let, money be the decision maker on who you want to be with for the rest of your life, because money is just a little part in the biggest thing ever. It helps a lot, but it's not the baseline of what the relationship is about. Now, if you're dishing love and no love is coming back, then that's something, because you want to withdraw what you're depositing in. I would rather deposit my emotions and my feelings than to deposit the green. Okay. That's just me.
Now, okay, so thank you so much for everybody who showed up, for everybody who viewed the broadcast. I seen Patricia, I seen Paul.
Hi, Patricia.
Hi, Patricia. Just to name a few people that I did see show up on the broadcast. Thank you, Auntie, for your comments. Thank you, Michelle. I see Michelle pop up, and everybody else who supported. I do appreciate it. Now, until next time, you guys have a great weekend. See you later. Bye, guys.